CTV News at 6 with Joe Perkins.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. Glad you could join us tonight. We begin on the South Island, where tinder dry conditions and a record-setting dry spell have led to another brush fire, this time near Port Renfrew. 16 firefighters, along with 2 helicopters, are battling the blaze 20 kilometers north of Port Renfrew tonight. It started yesterday afternoon and is now burning across 2 hectares. At this point, the blaze is mostly smoke with a bit of open flame. Firefighters say it's believed to be human-caused. The Coastal Fire Center says crews will likely take the rest of the week to put it out. No homes or structures are in danger. And this is the 4th forest fire in the past week on Vancouver Island, a stretch that has been one of the driest to date. August to September was the driest on record for both Victoria and the city of Nanaimo, with almost no rain. On Tuesday, we showed you firefighters fighting flames just west of Duncan after a spark, most likely from shotgun shells, found some bone-dry conditions. And last weekend, you'll remember another forest fire, this one out at Shawnigan Lake, about 12 kilometers to the west. There, fire crews spent the week battling a 20-hectare forest fire, again believed to be human-caused. The Coastal Fire Center says campfires are allowed at this time, but backyard burning is still prohibited. Well, thousands of Canadians laced up their shoes and hit the pavement this morning for the CIBC Run for the Cure, an opportunity to help save lives and work towards a future without breast cancer.
Beautiful day.
They were up early and shaking it out this morning at UVic. Organizers of the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation CIBC Run for the Cure were thrilled with the turnout this year. More than 4,000 people, including many breast cancer survivors, took part in the run. The annual Run for the Cure raises money for research, education, treatment, and prevention of breast cancer. Most hitting the pavement today were walking or running for a loved one.
For my grandma. We lost her in 1990.
I'm running for my cousin Kimmy. She passed away last Christmas from breast cancer.
My grandma has breast cancer, so that's why I started doing this for her.
My grandmother, Lillian Shembry, she's a 2-time cancer survivor, so that's why I'm running for today.
The Victoria event raised more than $500,000. The event also drew big crowds in Nanaimo and in Vancouver today. The Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation says it hopes to raise a little bit more than last year. Back in Victoria, there was also a moment of silence today to remember those who have lost their battle with breast cancer.
Well, I can speak personally. I lost my mom 10 years ago, and this is a very emotional day. It's how I remember her and how I honor her, and it shows support for people who are going through breast cancer and, remembering those that have lost.
The run is Canada's largest single-day volunteer-led fundraising event that raises millions of dollars every year. Well, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency is expanding that recall of beef products packed at a plant in Alberta. New cuts of beef have been added to a growing recall list, which includes Costco Wholesale, Walmart, Prairie Meats, and Thrifty Foods. Thrifty Foods says several of its stores have been affected, including the Duncan, Tuscany Village, Hillside, Admiral's Walk, Central Saanich, Quadra Cloverdale, and Salt Spring Island locations. I'll read them again. The Duncan, Tuscany Village, Hillside, Admiral's Walk, Central Saanich, Quadra Cloverdale, and Salt Spring Island locations. Thrifty says it doesn't usually buy beef from XL Foods, but a small amount was purchased during the period in question. The store says all recalled raw beef products have been removed from the store shelves, and there have been no confirmed reports of illness as a result of customers consuming XL Food beef products purchased in any of the Thrifty stores. About 3 weeks ago, 9 cases of E. coli had been reported in the province, all stemming from XL Foods in Brooks, Alberta. Now, the CFIA has since suspended the plant's license. Meanwhile, Alberta's agriculture minister is urging consumers to continue to support the industry. And if you'd like a full list of the products that have been recalled, you can go online. There is a list at www.ctv.ca. Just follow the links. The Green Party of Canada has selected its candidate in the upcoming Victoria federal by-election. Trevor Moat, an electrical engineer and board member of the James Bay Neighbourhood Association, will have his name on the ballot. A by-election was called after New Democrat MP Denise Savoy stepped down for health reasons. That was in late August. The federal government has not yet selected a date for that by-election. The Bible is being brought to life this week in Victoria. It's a traveling display called the Messiah's Mansion, that is intended to be a reproduction of a full-scale sanctuary similar to the one Moses built in Jerusalem many years ago. The display and its creators from Oklahoma call themselves a traveling ministry. They move around North America, putting on history seminars to show people how Israelites would have used the sanctuary.
You know how the story goes that a picture paints 1,000 words. And so as they're sitting here, they're inside the sanctuary, and they're hearing the story how they actually used the sanctuary. They see what the priests did in here, and they see all of this stuff, and then all of a sudden now when they read their Bible, it starts to make sense because now they got a visual picture with what they're reading about in the scriptures.
The organizers from Oklahoma say the display takes roughly 700 man-hours to set up. The group has traveled to 15 states, including Hawaii, as well as Jamaica and Canada. The display is set up at the corner of Quadra Street at Chatterton and will be in Victoria for the week. Well, you could call this a match made in heaven. Hungry, world-class athletes and creative, top-of-the-line chefs. A fusion blended together today on a Saanich farm. For 5 years, chefs have been battling out on Madrona Farm to help raise money for local farmers. And this year, the challenge has some Olympic flavor. 13 of the island's top chefs each received a Canadian Olympian as a partner. The teams of two then had to tackle an obstacle course that included potato sack racing, bouncing beams and mud pits, and finished with a zip line. From there, each team was sent into the field to collect crops to help with the final challenge, creating a masterpiece dish for charity.
We wanted to honor the Olympians who just come back and tie it together with this event. They picked up a laminated map of the farm with all the crops on it. From here, they're going to run around and go and collect all the vegetables they need to create 2 one-plate masterpieces.
Each chef must create 2 plates with a protein of their choice. The dishes are then auctioned off with all the proceeds going to organizations that support local farmland. The Chef Survival Challenge was originally created as a fundraising tool to help protect Madrona Farm.